Hey everybody, today I want to go over the 15 most common work orders that I do on a regular basis. With the years that I've been doing maintenance, this list that I have here is something that's very common. It's probably on every property that you go to. It may vary a little bit depending on the age of the building or the part of the country where you're at. But here in Arizona, this list, and for the older complex that I work for, this list is very common. And most maintenance techs, because I worked on different complexes, this is going to be a very common list. I also want to go over my bag. This bag originally I had designed for air conditioner work. It's a TP4B veto bag. It's really small. You know, you can see it's not a big bag. I carry it over my shoulder. I have I got another strap that's padded because the original one's not padded, or it's got a really small pad and it'll just wear you out. So I got this pad on it and I carry it with me. Like I said, I do. Most of my work orders are done with this. It's not going to do 100% of the work orders, but it'll be on 100% of them because there's tools that I'm going to use here. It's not going to complete them, but it'll be there. The number one thing that most techs, you know, the number one work orders that we get is garbage disposals. That's very common. That's very normal. Any property that you work at, you're going to get a lot of garbage disposals. I put the wrench over here. I had it in here. And it's going to be, I use this wrench. I carry it with me in the bag. It's a 1/4 inch Allen wrench that's going to be used on garbage disposals. Some garbage disposals you gotta, through the top, you gotta when they're seized, you gotta unseize them from the top. I have that wrench at the shop. Of course, I don't carry that wrench with me because at the property that I work at, we don't have any of those garbage disposals. That's number one. And I'm sorry I got them written down. It's just there's too many of them to remember. And number two is light bulbs. Of course, I always got to go in the apartment before, you know, if it's a kitchen light bulb, I got to go in there because there's different fixtures and I don't know which light bulb it is. So when I go in there, I look at the light bulb, but if it's got a fixture I got to tear apart, I got a couple screwdrivers and a plier here that I can, you know, take whatever I need to take off. Of course, I got to bring a ladder with me and the proper light bulbs. So that's number two, could be light bulbs. And like I said, this is also involved this bag. Number three, now this is a very common, it's clogged toilets. Of course, I don't carry a plunger in here. I don't think, even if you got a backpack, a big old backpack, I don't think any of the maintenance techs are going to carry a plunger. So we're all going to first go look at the situation there. If the tenant has a plunger, we'll use their plunger because we don't want to carry dirty plungers all over the property. So that's a really common work order, but I don't think any techs, no matter what size of bags they carry or backpacks or totes or whatever they carry, I don't think anybody carries a plunger with them all the time. So that's number three. Number four is electrical shorts. Of course, that's a very, very common work order because you know sometimes it's just as simple as a trip Gfci. But for that, I do have tools. Of course, I got my pen that I use, and here I have I'm gonna put this over here. The tester for, like I said, this is and this bag is originally designed for air conditioner work, but things are pretty tight in here. There's a particular way I can put everything. I'm just having a hard time. I've got my tester for GFCIs, or you know, this will test the electrical outlets too. It'll let you know if something's backwards, or you know, you can get a lot of information out of these. So that's number four is the electrical shorts, or you know, no power in certain parts of the apartment. Number five is dishwasher holding water, and that's a very common one because what happens is a lot of times the discharge line from the dishwasher where it drains out, if the tech doesn't know this, the discharge line needs to go up and go almost up to the sink and then come back down to wherever it connects, either at the garbage disposal or at one of the sink lines. And a lot of techs don't know this and they just leave the line laying down. So when people wash their dishes, there's water just because of gravity, water going into the dishwasher. So tenants will call you and say, my dishwasher's stinky, it's rotten, there's something in there, it's probably clogged. It's just that. So for that, I do carry some of these zip ties. I just pull it up and zip tie it up to a screw or something up there, and then that takes care of it. And of course, if it's leaking and I have to take it apart, of course I have the 5/16 and the 1/4 inch tear apart most appliances. That's a standard sizes for them. So I can fix a dishwasher with this too. Number 6 is doorknobs and deadbolts. You know, tenants call you. My key's really hard. I can't open the door. Door's not closing. Doesn't close all the way. It doesn't. So for that, it's basically going to be screwdrivers. Of course, I have my drill, and of course that's another very common work order that this bag can handle. Number 7 is plumbing leaks, and that's more involved. I have a tote especially designed for plumbing. Sometimes it's drips. When it comes to drips, it's gonna depend on the brand of the faucet. When it's shower drips, that's all at the property I'm at. It's all mix-its, and I have those wrenches and that tote. So basically, anything that's plumbing leaks like that, I'm gonna have to bring that tote. But if it's like an angle stop or stuff like that, of course I have with me enough tools here to. I got 2 pairs of channel locks, and I can tighten most anything with these. And this is also my hammer. So this is one of the heaviest things that I carry with me, but it's very useful. Number 8 is air conditioners. Of course, my bag's already designed for air conditioners. I already have a multimeter with me all the time. I carry here at the property I work at, we have package units, gas package units, and this is to clean the flame sensors. Carry that with me on this bag. It doesn't take up any space. I got a small little, it's over here on this side, a small little, where is it? Oh, it's here. It just came off I have it screwed in there. A small little gauge. It's just a low side. But this will give me a lot of information for the units that I have in my property. This, of course, I'm not going to charge a unit with this. I have to go down and get the tanks and the hoses for that. But it'll if I go up to change the capacitor, I can tell a lot just with this gauge. So that's something that I carry with me on this bag. That's not very heavy. Of course, I have cores. Sometimes they're leaking at cores, and you can find out pretty fast, and so you just change the cores. I got cores in here. So for air conditioning work, that's what this is designed. I have a temperature reader, and this is really important to have because sometimes you go to a water heater and people are telling you, well, it's not hot, or it's too hot, or this or that. And you put your temperature reader on it. Or air conditioners, there's times that I go in there the tenants tell me, well, it's not cooling enough, and I put it up there and I can feel it's got enough airflow, and it's blowing out at 59. I tell them, ma'am, sir, this is Arizona. You know, we're getting 59. We're getting more than a 20-degree split. I mean, it's cooling good, but you know, you're not gonna have 60 degrees in your apartment when it's 120 outside or 115. So that's air conditioners, very common here in Arizona. The heaters too. We work on the heaters a lot here. You would think that this is the desert. We don't need the heaters that much, but since we're not used to that much cold, even when it's 60 here, we all have our heaters on because it's too cold for us. We're just used to a desert. Now number 9 is refrigerators not cooling. That's very common. That's a work order that it's either going to be usually it's going to be a fan. Very rarely is it the compressor, but sometimes it is a compressor. And that we don't really fix. We just change the refrigerators. I do know how to change them, but sometimes they're not worth changing. They're just too old, and by the time you replace it, and the time you put in it, it's not worth it. It could be a defrost sensor, so you're going to need a multimeter for that. Of course, I got the drivers to tear apart a refrigerator, anything that I need, all the panels and all that. I've got it here. So this bag does refrigerators because it's designed for air conditioning, and refrigerators are basically the same thing, but just smaller. Number 10 that I got on my list is running toilets. That's a very common work order. Usually we know it's going to be a flapper, and I don't carry flappers with me, but when I get the work order, I just take a flapper with me. I use 2 types of flappers at my property, the 3-inch and the other standard one. So I just take one of each. When I see the work order, I just grab a flapper and just take it with me. And you don't really need tools to change the flapper usually, so that's a very common work order. But this bag is, at least I got a light in there if I need to see something. Number 11 is water heaters. And it doesn't matter if it's gas or electric. I can handle it with this bag. If it's electric, it's gonna be. I gotta check voltage first. Gotta make sure I got 240 volts coming in, and then going to both thermostats, and then I gotta check my heating elements. So with this bag, I've got screwdrivers to take off the panel, and then I've got the multimeter to test it. I can test the fuses. If I don't have 240 volts, I can test the fuse. It could be just a burnt fuse. So this bag will take care of that. Gas heaters. It's usually a lot of times going to be a thermocoupler, and of course I got some sandpaper in there. I can clean it a little bit. You can't be really rough on them. You're supposed to clean them like with a dollar bill or something like that. But I got a little bit of sandpaper if I had to do that. And that's the most common. Sometimes I take them out and I got to clean them. But usually it's the electric ones that require more work. So water heaters I can handle with this. Number 12, I got stoves. Of course, stoves, the same thing. You gotta test continuity. Sometimes you gotta make sure you got your currents running from where they go. Usually in apartments, it's gonna be electric stoves. Even in the property that I work at that has gas, the stoves are all electric. So the multimeter and the screwdrivers, usually they can handle everything. I can test the heating elements in the ovens, the burners, anything like that. With the multimeter, I can make sure I got current running to everything. And so this bag will take care of that. Clothes washing machines, for clothes, and washing machines and dryers. Of course, they're all gonna be, all appliances are basically I can handle with this bag, because I have the multimeter and I have the tools to take them apart, put the panels on and off. So of course this bag will take care of that. Weather stripping, that's very common too. There's people say, yeah, I can see a little bit of daylight over here and I can see daylight over there, and all of my heat's escaping from there, and I got all the hot air coming in and stuff like that. Of course, that's going to be usually screwdrivers, and you may have to, it's pretty simple. I'm going to use my drill on that for sure. If the weather stripping's bad, I got to go get weather stripping. So I've got a tape measure with me on this bag. It's a really small, just a little 6-footer. A 6-foot tape measure that I carry, and I can just measure the weather stripping I need, go over to the shop, cut it over there, the size that I need, and just bring it over. So with this bag and with this, I mean, this is pretty simple to take care of that problem without having to carry a lot of tools and stuff like that. Then number 15 is I got roof leaks, and that's, of course, nothing in this bag is going to take care of that. That's a whole different issue. But it's a very common work order. That is its own. Nobody's going to carry those tools with them all day. So those are the 15 work orders that are the most common. But now that we went over that, let me go over what I do carry in my bag just really fast. Of course, I carry this flashlight. This is magnetic, and it works great. It's rechargeable. So you can, stick it onto a refrigerator, a stove, an oven, an air conditioner unit, an air handler, and it'll, it's rechargeable, so it's a great light. I only carry 2 screwdrivers with me. I wish I could carry more, but I don't have any room. And this is like a 12-in-1. It's got, different sizes, and it's got a ratchet in it. And this is just a regular flathead. And this is my pry bar too, because you always need a pry bar. So, of course, we already went over my channel locks. I carry a small little screwdriver for thermostats. I carry a small little crescent wrench in here. Instead of carrying a whole bunch of sockets and stuff like that, I just carry a small little crescent wrench, and this gets me through. If it's going to be a bigger project, then I have to go get a ratchet and stuff like that. I have my needle nose that are strippers and cutters and crimpers at the same time. This is a great tool. It's plain. This tool, in this bag helps a lot because it just saves me from carrying a lot of extra things. I have an extension for my drill. Sometimes the screw is really far, or a bolt or something, so I got an extension for that. Of course, in there I have wire nuts and screws and stuff like that. I have a stud finder that I use a lot, especially when I got to put a a toilet paper holder or a towel holder, and I got to find a stud. So I just carry this. Doesn't weigh a lot. It's magnetic. Plus the magnet. If I drop a screw that I can't find and it's pretty dark or I can't look under there, I just run this thing in there, and then it'll pick up screws or washers or whatever falls under a machine that I can't reach or I can't see. This I'll get them with this. So this serves two purposes or probably more. I got a little stubby screwdriver. That's, of course, you can flip it around. It's got different sizes, and these are really good, tight spaces where a big screwdriver won't fit. I got a Sharpie pencil, a Sharpie marker with me. When I get up on units, sometimes they're not marked, so I open the disconnect panel and I mark, the apartment number. Make it easier on the next guy, because sometimes you got to walk up and down and try and figure which one it is, because there's so many apartments, nobody marked them. And I carry an extra driver with me, because of course every time I need mine and I can't find it, I have one on the drill, and then I've got an extra one over here on the sides. I carry I carry the service wrench. I don't really use it that much. Probably don't need to carry it. It's only when I'm always afraid I'm gonna step on a line or something and it's gonna start leaking, and then I can, I could close the king valve really fast if I had to with this. So I carry it with me just in case of an emergency. Over here I have it's the key to the locks for what do you call these things? The caps that you put over HVAC lines. So some people put the ones that have a key to it, need a key to it. And that's about it. In here I carry a little, if I need to run continuity or check something, I've got this little cable with some clips on them. I can, use that. For cores, you guys know what this is. Change a core. I got a few sockets in here and small stuff, but that's basically it. That's all the stuff. I have a flathead for my drill gun. And like I said, with this bag, I don't want to go over too many things anymore because there's a lot of little stuff in there, but you guys get the idea that with this bag, I can do most of the work orders that are required, in maintenance. It's not very big. It's not very heavy. I don't know how much it weighs, but I mean, I carry the essentials. I'm sure there's people that are going to say that's too much, and others are going to say that's not enough, but everybody's different. Every property is different, so whatever the property you're working at, whatever works for you, that's good. I just wanted to share with you guys what I carry. And don't forget to subscribe or give this video a like. The likes really help me. And well, thank you guys for watching, and have a great day.